What? All right, everybody, welcome back. Survivor recap.
Hi.
Greetings.
Greetings. That was all like, it was very pleasant and everything, too.
Why are you judging my intros? I can't just say hello anymore. I'm just going to be like, all right, on the red drive.
You just, hi, everybody, and on the red drive.
Oh. So, on the Red Tribe.
Yeah. Welcome to Survivor recap, by the way.
Yes. And, man, I barely remember last week. I don't know why. It's been a long time, I guess. Anyways, Sharon is complaining and crying because she doesn't think anyone in the game wants to play with her. Maybe it's because she's crazy.
I was going to say, because she's right. Nobody in the game wants to play with her.
But the thing is, she's like talking about how she wants to change. She wants to change herself, and it's funny how, once again, in confessionals, she seems perfectly sane. And she's talking about how she wants to be a good person and how she grew up and all this stuff. And I'm like, you sound very sane and normal right now. The problem is, when you leave the confessional, you do stuff like sing the Star-Spangled Banner as people wake up. You know, it's just like...
She's a professional whistler, you know, MC.
Yeah, I know. She has to represent her kind, I guess.
Did she do anything crazy in this episode?
Not really.
Yeah, I don't think
No,
so.
I think that they're definitely trying to play it down now. I think they're trying to build her a story now.
Uh-oh. I don't like
the crazy lady who got less crazy and won the game.
I don't like it when they try to build a new story around somebody else because...
So that was all I have for Red after Tribal.
Carolyn also was talking about how, like basically it was, you know, the big fault. Like, why did you abandon our old tribe? And she's like, well, I'm here for real loyalty, not fake loyalty, was the line I remembered. And so I guess she thought that Sharin's loyalty was fake. And I don't think that's true, because I think that Sharin and Max were very accepting Carolyn, and they were like, you're going to go far with us. I think that they were like legit with that alliance, but she didn't think that way, apparently.
Well, I do think that they were legit in that alliance, but having nothing to do with really Carolyn. It was the Max and Sharin alliance that had a third person.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. So then we go over to the Blue Tribe, and Dan's telling the infamous story of his underwear being taken by the ocean.
And it gets more and more animated every time, like, he tells it.
Yeah, the hand of Atlantis, or whatever. Anyways.
Neptune.
Yes. Come up and ripped my underwear from me. And then Rodney is just, he's done. He's done with all the
He's so bored. He's so bored of hearing, like, it's like... How many stories can I hear from Dan? I've lived the stories. I don't need to hear them anymore.
Well, Rodney's probably also upset because his tribe has less women on it, right?
Yeah, it's mostly men.
He has nobody to boss around.
Nobody's
That's what he does.
He's so bored. So why don't we just go and find a new brother? Let's Joaquin. You seem pretty cool.
Bromance.
Bromance.
Oh,
boy.
They were in love at first sight. Well, just want to mention that Rodney doesn't trust Mike because he goes to church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, he doesn't party and have fun. It's like, that's like the worst reason not trust somebody. Usually, like, people who go to church and stuff, they're pretty darn, you know, true to their word.
According to him, Mike is celibate too, but I don't know where he got that information.
And he got the information specifically of 8 years. He's been celibate for 8 years, and he's like, "Go ask him; he'll tell you." And it's like, where did
I
this
mean,
come
okay. Let's be fair. When you're stuck on an island for this long, and you know those late nights where you're just sitting around the fire with the entire tribe, you're like, you'll get all emotional and start sharing everything, I bet.
But wouldn't you think that before they brought it up in the show as Rodney's telling it to Joaquin, that they would have shown the scene where Mike actually was talking about that?
That's what I thought was weird. It's like they should have. I would have thought.
I thought like it was
footage
assumed.
of this, but yeah. See, Rodney, for all those who think I talk like an idiot, you wait and see, and I've got it planned. I got a plan.
Yeah, see what I've planned for this game. Yeah, that was a great line. I'm like, oh boy, let's see what he has planned. I bet that's going to be part of the big thing of this episode, you know?
Right.
What's his big plan?
So then we go to the reward challenge. It's go through obstacles, climb a tower, use a slingshot thing to hit targets, and make the flags pop up. There's big slingshot thing. Basically, it's the slingshots from last challenge, except now they're trying to hit things with them instead
But
of...
how do the flags come up when you hit them with the flags?
That was my... I'm glad you had that question, too, because do you think there's someone behind there making sure they go up, or do you think that it's pressure alone? Because sometimes they would hit the bottom board there. I think that'd be enough pressure to triggers something.
See,
I don't know.
I gotta think that it's pressure alone, but it was really funny because as I was watching it, I was just like, Julia said the same thing at first. She goes, "Is somebody back there putting those flags up?" I'm like, no, there can't be. But then the way the flag raised, I was like, maybe there is somebody back there pushing
Somebody
that flag
on
up.
the Survivor subreddit was like, "Did they bring back Leaf for the season?"
What?
I don't remember that.
Never mind.
Oh, you gotta explain it now. You can't just say something like that.
Our short person friend,
Mm.
Leaf.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Right. Funny.
He's sitting back there pushing the flags up.
They brought him back for the
Running back and forth. Because that's the thing. If you had somebody back there, you would have to have them behind, one person behind every board.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think it has to be a pressure play, but
But they have enough. You gotta think they have enough people to get somebody behind every one of those.
that's probably true.
I'm still happy that they overall had that type of thing. Like, I kind of hope that it was, like actually hitting them and like triggering them. I think that'd be a cool mechanism. I'd like to see a behind the scenes of that.
Yeah. These are the true questions. So if you won the reward, you get to go to a turtle sanctuary, watch some turtles lay some eggs, and
I so
have
wanted
food
Shireen to win this reward.
under the stars.
I so wanted Shireen to start talking about turtle sex. Like, just,
So Dan sits out for blue, and first one to the top, and it's Rodney shooting. Then Jin's shooting for red. Rodney doesn't hit anything for a while. Jin makes the shot.
what did you think of Rodney running out there at first? He went freaking fast. He got there so quick, but I swear to God, he destroyed his legs, his nuts, like he just went charging onto a little thin rope and fell every single obstacle he came to. He went so fast.
He needs to understand the phrase "slow and steady wins the race" a little bit more. That's a lot of people say that saying is kind of stupid. It's like, oh, you want to go fast. Well, you want to go fast, but you don't want to go so fast that you completely destroy everything.
Right.
He was just insane.
That's what it means. Yeah, you want to take your time. You want to do it methodically enough that you're going to be able to, complete it.
But in his defense, he did get there first. He got there like really quickly.
Then he couldn't hit anything. It's like, good job, Rodney. Later on, we see someone switch out after not hitting anything, and I think Rodney may have should have done that early on. I didn't know that was even an option until we see someone else do it.
Right.
Anyways, Jin makes a shot. Red starts out much better hitting the targets. Eventually, blue pulls ahead. It's 3 blue, 2 red, then 4 blue, 2 red, 4 blue, 3 red, 4 blue, 4 red, 5 blue. I guess, but then red ends up winning in the end. It's 5 blue, 4 red, 5-5, and then red pulls it out and wins. So they were behind until
5.
Yeah, no, it was first to 6, wasn't it? Okay, well.
Wait, I'm sorry, it was 6 because there's 6 targets out there. 1, 2, and then the 3 in the back. Okay, yeah, you're right. It was 6.
They chanted something after they won. I could not.
I could not either.
3 times. It's like, I don't know what you're saying. I think it was something along the lines of "we actually can win" or something like that. I don't know. And Sharon's really sad because she wanted to bond with her tribe at a reward.
And she wanted to go watch turtles.
Mm-hmm.
But the Blue Funny tribe is happy because they've won, and there's dances and celebrations. They were really excited. That was a huge Survivor celebration, so I was happy to see that.
Yeah, I think they were saying something along the lines of "we can win" or something, because then they talk a little bit afterwards about how they didn't think they could win. Like, oh, we could actually win. We're not just the underdogs.
Right.
So they go and they have macaroni and cheese, beef stew, bread, and hot chocolate.
What did you think about that reward? When he started talking about the food, I was like, this is not your typical like food reward that you have. I mean, granted, it's a good one. I would love some mac and cheese and some beef stew and stuff, but usually it's steaks, burgers,
Yeah, on Survivor you get like the big protein, not like soup and mac and cheese.
Right.
I mean, carb up all you want, but it's
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit weird. Maybe that's what they make when they're watching turtles lay eggs. That's like traditional.
Tradition.
It's time for our long-time traditional macaroni and cheese, right?
Straight from the Kraft dinner box, as our people know.
Bring forth the royal craft.
And the Swiss Miss hot chocolate packs.
Okay, this is off topic a little bit, but one time I went to a restaurant and I ordered the hot chocolate, and they brought me a cup of hot water and the packet. And I was like, you want me to do this myself? Why am I paying for this? I could have brought a packet from home and just asked for hot water.
Well,
Dang.
and actually, MC was probably actually like looking at him and he was like, This is amazing. It's exactly what I wanted. It's like, have you ever ordered coffee at a restaurant? You don't drink coffee, do you, MC? Good.
No.
Have you ever ordered coffee at a restaurant that you don't order coffee either? Oh, I dislike the places that bring you that little French press.
Why?
I'd rather have like the big. For some reason, I really like that big bulky cup of like big pot of coffee because I like to drink my coffee and get a refill and drink my coffee and get a refill. The little French press thingy, you're like, oh look, and I poured it and now it's gone and I have this empty container full of coffee beans sitting on my desk and I'm like, more please, my coffee's gone. And they're like, okay, it'll be 20 more minutes for me to go make another little mini French press coffee for you. And I'm just like,
isn't it much better though?
I mean, some people claim it is. I personally, I really like coffee, but I'm not a coffee connoisseur. To say, like, I don't like the expensive, fancy coffees. I'm literally Maxwell House, like, big pot of Maxwell House coffee. I think is delicious. I hate Starbucks coffee. Starbucks drip coffee is horrid. It's like, it's so strong. It's like they literally just put in twice the amount that they should, and they're like, look, people like it because it's stronger.
Huh.
I'm excited I inspired this conversation.
Yeah. It's a good conversation.
So they get hot chocolate.
So back on the blue tribe, we got...
Wait, we didn't talk about the turtles, yo.
Oh, right, yeah.
Wait. Excuse me. Take that back, MC. We didn't talk about the turtle.
Well, the turtle laid some eggs. It was exciting. That's all we really need to talk about. They buried the eggs, which was exciting, I guess.
But why was there only one? They were there for this big turtle migration, and there was a turtle. A turtle.
Well, you heard the man. A lot of them don't live, okay? That was the only one that made it this year, Jeff. That was fucking dead.
A lot of
they
the
won't
babies
talk about
don't live. I hope that... Because aren't those turtles like 100 years old or something?
I don't know. I don't know him.
Turtles are old.
Turtles are old.
He might have been. Don't be judging him.
That's what I learned from, like, Finding Nemo. Those turtles are old.
Well, good thing we have Finding Nemo to help us with our survivor knowledge today.
All right, so back to Blue. Joaquin and Sierra are talking. Joaquin says that Tyler is the most trustworthy of everyone, and Joe is too strong to bring in. Sierra doesn't like Rodney, so she doesn't want to do anything with Rodney. But Joaquin and Rodney are buddies, not brothers.
Yeah, and Joaquin is something very smart. I was like, this guy, he's playing Survivor right. He says, don't worry, I'll take care of Rodney. He's saying to Sierra, you and me are buddies. We're using Rodney. But that's not how it is at all. He's being very smart about his words, which I was very, like...
Yeah.
I was very approving of that. But you know, so Sierra trying to trust Tyler and Joaquin. Like, I don't know much about Tyler and Joaquin, except I don't think they're trustworthy people, so I
would not make Tyler the most trustworthy either. Like,
no, definitely not. That guy is just scheming. Like, he has one of those faces. He looks like he's watching and learning, and he's going to attack one day, and you're not going to expect it.
Well, he hasn't done anything except, like, sit back and listen this whole game, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I think he's going to be a scary player later on, because he's going to have all this knowledge, and then he's going to start making moves. If he starts making moves, he hasn't made any enemies during the crucial first part of the game. Like, that's where a lot of times things break down, when you start making enemies in the first part of the game.
Right.
When you get to the merge, that's when you're like, all right, well, you are all my friends, but now it's time to get to work, you know? And then that's when you earn respect from them, kind of, for the jury.
Yeah. Roddy's talking about how he can manipulate both sides, and meaning Joaquin and the old Blue members. And then Rodney does something that I predicted last week and did actually expect to happen. Rodney decides that they should throw the next immunity challenge and vote out Joe.
I wish you weren't so good at predictions, Guude, because... too many of the comments on the last Survivor after it aired were extremely spoiling of.
Yeah, people tweeted me a whole lot. If you watch the show, we don't normally watch the show as it airs, so please don't tweet us spoilers.
Yes, please, thank you. I totally got the switching tribes last week. Like, I just got like a tweet at like 8:30 p.m. exactly or something, and it's like, it was just like, the tribes have switched, and I'm like, well, good, because I'm watching it in 4 days. Well,
I watch it the night of normally, but it's several hours after it actually airs.
I watched this one yesterday, so I'm a little bit behind.
Yes, Rodney thinks he can gain Joaquin's trust. Rodney and Joaquin would do whatever, or Rodney thinks Joaquin would do whatever he wants. Mike is okay with the idea only because Kelly is on the other tribe, and he wants to keep her safe.
He's willing to throw challenges to keep a different tribe person safe, like somebody on a different tribe safe, and that's wacky. That's very wacky.
It makes sense because that's it. He wants to get back to the merge, and if he can save her until the true, his true alliance, I get it. But that means he has to not be worried about himself at all. But
Exactly.
he is also worried about her. Like, is there been any indication that he should be worried about her going home?
I mean, I guess he thinks that there's only her as far as Blue Tribe is concerned, or Old Blue Tribe over there. Like, she's alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they have a lot of them here.
He doesn't consider that she could have been making different alliances in the meantime.
Right.
Right. He obviously
which is also a big
safe.
danger. You don't know what they're saying on that beach. She could be like, "No, I was just using Mike. I got a whole new alliance." And when they start doing that, then all of a sudden, Kelly's going to be writing your name down first merge vote, and then thanks for throwing the challenge, by the way. Goodbye,
Yeah, yeah. Which it doesn't end up working out. Like, it doesn't seem like it's gonna. Yeah.
It's all very risky. So Mike's doing weird stuff. Rodney is horribly god-awful confident about this plan, and it's going to be an exciting immunity challenge.
So we're at the immunity challenge.
Whoa,
what it is?
Transition.
Yeah, here we are. And what you have to do is there's a row of items lined up. You have to memorize them, and then each tribe member has a lever they can pull. Whenever one of them pulls the lever, curtain goes down, covers up the items. They race back and recreate what they saw. So either tribe member can close the curtain, basically. Carolyn and Rodney are out there first. If you rally with Rodney, you could give him as much time as you want, I feel, and you're going to win against him. But so she pulls curtain first, and she's right, obviously, because... Oh, wait. Yeah. So one red...
I love how Rodney was so, like, she pulled the thing down and the curtain went down, and he was, like, so baffled that the curtain shut. He was just like...
Yeah.
Like I didn't listen to anything that this challenge was supposed to be about.
Right.
And all of a sudden...
I thought I could pull the curtain down. Why is it... Okay, at one time, I can run. I'll run.
Yes.
Unfortunately, running doesn't save him, and he does not get the point.
He didn't want the point anyway, though, so...
Oh, yeah, because he's trying to throw the challenge or something.
Yeah. Whenever I saw this, I was like, he doesn't even have to throw the challenge. He's too dumb. It's not going to matter. All right, so here we are. Next one up, Hayley and Sierra. They pull the curtain at pretty much the same time. Hayley finishes first, and she's right. So we're 2 for red, 0 for blue. Next up, Joe pulls the curtain on Will. Joe finishes first, and Joe wins the point. They had different items, but it didn't matter because Joe was first anyways. So 2 red, 1 blue. Now it's Sharon and Dan. Dan pulls the curtain and finishes first, so we're tied up now, 2-2. Next up is Mike and Kelly.
Hold on. Producers, I see what you're doing here. You're not fooling anybody with this Mike Kelly and last one, game point.
Right.
You can't say that this wasn't planned. It's so planned. Like I bet they were just sitting there. It's like, oh, tiebreaker round. Mike and Kelly, it's your turn up. And Shireen's like, I want to play. No, Shireen. Mike and Kelly.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's basically scripted without being scripted, so to speak. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, wait, did everybody actually get a chance to play? I didn't even...
No. Nobody... Shireen was over there. She was just like...
Oh, Shireen went with Dan.
Oh, she did? Well, she lost.
Shireen and Dan. Dan pulls curtain. Dan finishes first.
All right. Yeah, you're right. I
don't know. Some people didn't get to play because we only had...
That's so weird to think about. That somebody didn't actually get to play because they went to the bitter end. Like, that's the farthest that they could, in theory, go in this game because it was a tied at the...
Yeah, honestly, they should have, switched at that point, but they just drug it out. And so how they drug it out, so they both go up there. Kelly pulls. Mike doesn't even run back. He's still looking at the curtain, pointing at the curtain.
The blank curtain.
Make sure Probst make sure he points that out. Mike's counting the curtain. Where's the curtain behind the little lever to put on top?
So Mike runs back and on purpose finishes, or he purposely does it wrong, but he finishes first still. And Kelly's wrong too. So they get a second look, and Mike tells Kelly he's giving it to her, and he still finishes first. I don't know why he keeps finishing first, but they're still both wrong.
Well, I guess to keep up appearances.
Yeah. I don't know how you could be wrong twice on that. That kind of blew my mind. But anyways, they were wrong twice, so they go down to 5 items from the 6, still the same order even. And
It's so dumb it hurts, this entire thing, by the way.
yeah, I decided that Kelly, she bumped her head, right? So she's got a head injury, and that's affecting her ability to remember things more than 3 seconds long. That's what I decided. But eventually she gets it right. Mike coaches her through it. I guess sound doesn't pass very well because he's even like talking to her while he's placing the things like, see, I have these reversed, Kelly. Anyways.
And nobody else notices.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely Survivor audio mixing coming into play right there. Because every Survivor has their own mic, so they were bumping up mics and stuff.
Right.
Mike's mic, so...
But if she could hear him, I mean, he had to be saying it loud enough that it could be heard.
It's a loud beach, waves and oceans, you know, and Jeff
and sandwiches.
The sandwiches just washing up on the shore, and Will's like, "Hey,
So,
there it is."
so if
Hey, eat me!
if Kelly has this short-term memory loss, do you think like that night back at her beach, she like woke up in the middle of the night and just started setting up bottles and like where they
It
were
all
supposed
came
to
to her.
And Shireen comments, "Hey, she's the real crazy one.
Look, everyone, she's crazy.
She's assembling bottles and candles. We didn't even have a candlestick. Where did she get that?" They did have candles, apparently, because that was a previous reward. Anyways, so yes, Kelly does get her point finally after many attempts, and it was all so dumb. I couldn't believe it was happening before my very eyes. I was like, I've seen thrown challenges before, but I've never seen somebody help coach the other challenger. Yeah. It's like you know maybe you accidentally trip. Maybe you have a hard time swimming back to shore. But on a puzzle one, how do you throw that? Just switch the 2 bottles. That's what I got to make sure I do.
Yeah, because can you imagine if it was anybody but Kelly that was up against him? Like, what would he have done? He couldn't have coached him through it because that would have just been
right. Yeah.
Thank the producers. So I don't know if I love Mike anymore. I used to love him. I was like, you know, you're a good guy. I want you to win this game. But now I'm like, what's even going on with you?
I think he played it up well, though. I don't think people think he threw the challenge.
I think it's something he could talk about at the jury, or to the jury at some point. Be like, oh yeah, I threw a challenge. I coached another tribe's first win. And then it'd be like, well, that's not showing loyalty to your tribe. No, but it's showing loyalty to my true alliance. And
yeah.
People do respect honesty to their alliance.
Maybe, unless you're like Rodney. Even though it was Rodney's idea, Rodney will probably hold that against him at the end. He'll be like, I can't believe some guy threw a challenge, even though he's the one that suggested it.
Well, speaking of that, now they're back at the Blue Cat. Mike is realizing he doesn't trust Rodney after he threw the challenge. That was Rodney's idea.
He feels horrible that he threw the challenge. He's like, that's a Survivor no-no. And I'm like, yep, that's a Survivor no-no. Don't do that.
You're a bad man, Mike. So Mike and Rodney talk, and they decide that Joe is the one that needs to go home. Rodney tells
It's gonna be a walk in the park. It's gonna be a walk in the park.
Yeah. Rodney's like, hey, Joaquin, this game's about you and me. It's about 2 of us. Everybody else doesn't matter. You got this. Dan, Joe, and Mike talk about not trusting Rodney. So everyone's got Rodney's number, basically. Joe had hoped to work with Rodney and Joaquin, but now he knows that he's trouble. When he walked in.
He can't. He's like, I can't do this. I can't work with these people.
Dan messed up with Sierra, and they had to figure out how to get her trust.
Yeah. How do you recover to Sierra?
He had the option to recover before, and all he did was be like, yo, I'm sorry. However, you're wrong anyways. Like, that was what he did.
And so, at this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, Dan, stop apologizing. Like, maybe give one more brief apology. Keep it simple. But what you need to do is appeal to her distaste of Rodney. Be like, we need to get rid of him. He's a horrible person on our tribe. And she'd be like, I agree. I don't disagree with you there, is what she would say.
I don't disagree.
Just reuse his old lines right on him.
So let's go talk to Sierra, shall we?
Right. I've lost the doc.
Well, it didn't go well. Dan is so bad. Like it's like I was like, okay, good. Mike's here. Mike can you know, slap Dan, you know, under the water, like every time he says something stupid, just be like, shut up, you know? But Dan continues to make a fool out of himself, and I'm doubting his existence with past women that he talked about before.
he's got years, okay, years.
So I don't even know, but
I like how she says I'm just sick to my stomach that my old tribe is trying to get her back after hurting her so bad.
well, I mean, it's a game, Sierra, but I mean, okay.
Yeah. So so we go to tribal.
Wait, hold on. There's an important shot that we see right before tribal.
Okay.
Joe talking to Sierra.
Oh, I missed that.
There's a shot of like them two just sitting on the beach talking like as they're doing like the voiceover heading into tribal. It shows Joe and Sierra talking to one another. And I think that's a very, very important thing for what we're about to see happen.
Right. Okay. So Sierra in tribal says that she feels more appreciated by the new team members and doesn't like how she was attacked personally by Dan, I guess, and others of her old tribe. Joaquim says the blue tribe made it easy by just coming up to him and telling him why they hate each other.
It's true, but something stupid to say.
Yeah. And Rodney's talking about how the new people is a much better opportunity for him. Mike says, you hope that you can believe in trust that you have built, but you can't know who to trust until after tribal, and that is very scary. And that's all I have until the vote.
Well, during the tribal, it felt like Probst was like kind of rooting for the Dan-Mike alliance. I don't have the exact comment. I didn't write it down in time, but he made some sort of comment that it just felt very much like usually he's very impartial, but in this case, I thought he said like one or two things that kind of felt like he was definitely rooting for Dan and Mike. I don't have it in front of me, so I'm sorry I'm not doing the good job here, but rewatch it and you'll see that Probst it feels like he's leaning towards them, at least, in my opinion.
So they go to vote. Joaquim, Rodney, and Tyler all vote for Joe. And Sierra, Mike, Dan, and Joe all vote for Joaquim. And Rodney... that look on Rodney's face, man.
It was the same look he had when the curtain closed in the challenge. It was like...
Yeah.
And the same look that he had when he couldn't figure out the ropes. He just looks at his tribe...
I wonder if it's all like one shot that they keep superimposing on his body like over and over again at all these places. Yeah, because like so now he suggested that they throw a challenge to get his only like
competitor.
Yeah, not his competitor, his teammate, whatever you want to call it, his alliance gone. And
well, yeah, that's not what he wanted, but that's what he got.
Right. And oh my god, it's so...
That's how it always works. Every time you throw a challenge, the result... If you throw a challenge, it's like karma. You never get the result you want. I don't think I've ever seen it happen. Normally, the person that decides to throw the challenge is the one that gets voted out.
So, how come they didn't vote out the one who decided to throw the challenge? Why didn't they vote out Rodney? I have no idea why he was not on anybody's radar.
Joaquim is smarter. Rodney is a big dumb lug that they can just... He's going to stomp around... which we see inside the next time that he's going to stomp around and be all upset. But, you know, we can just vote him out next time. If we can outsmart Joaquim, we can outsmart Rodney next time easy.
That's true. Who had an idol?
I've lost track of who had the best idols.
Carolyn?
Is she the only one, though?
No, one other person has an idol, but...
I thought there was two of them out there.
There was one found on the Red Tribe by Jen. Because the chickens?
Surfer Chick's got one too.
Okay. Jen.
Sure. Surfer Chick.
All right. Well, I think that's it for the recap this week.
Yeah.
Well, next time Rodney is upset and...
Merge! Right.
Big merge. It's a big merge.
Why such a quick merge? It's like maybe they didn't like the way that these teams were going.
Well, they were obviously imbalanced and...
yeah.
I'm happy to see a big merge like this. It's going to be exciting for, you know, I think the number of people means that you have to have 7 votes to get somebody out or something.
That's a lot of votes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people on one tribe.
And it sucks because now Rodney has another chance.
I know, he does.
I was like, all right, now Rodney's gone next week. Easy game. All right, and then Nope, we're merging, and Rodney's excited for that.
No, let's.
You think?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think this is when they bring in the Redemption Island people?
It's possible. It's possible. It's a whole new game starting now. It's this one tribe, and then everybody else who's been voted out is the other tribe. That's what it should be.
It's like almost like the whole season just started over.
Any predictions, Guude?
What if they actually did that? Can you imagine like how much TV business they would have to go through to do that? Like have a surprise like extra 10 episodes or something like that.
Right.
It'd be so
and
good.
Keep it secret so that because I mean you would see it in the schedule if it was planned, that it's going to be an extra 10 episodes.
Oh yeah, there's stuff already leaking about season 32, which is 2 seasons away. Things are starting to leak about that. I'm like, how could they keep that secret?
Yeah.
It's just like in Family Guy when they killed off Brian, the dog. But then you looked in the later episodes and in the descriptions, multiple episodes later were all about Brian, so you knew that he came back.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I haven't watched Family Guy in a while. I knew they killed him, but I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah, it was
That's
dumb.
funny.
So let's talk about for a minute music, because I listened and I did not hear any creepy, crazy music in this episode.
No, there wasn't any this episode. Satan did not come out and speak to us this time.
Man, I was really hoping because I just thought maybe you were crazy. I wanted you to be like, no, didn't you hear him? And I'd be like,
No. No, go back 2 episodes ago though. It started out with the
do Haas.
yeah, exactly. It was Rammstein. I don't have any crazy predictions for this week that might come true. So, any of you guys have anything?
I feel like as we head into this next part, we're gonna start seeing Shireen start to really scramble to find some people. Rodney's going to try to find some people, but I think he's going to lose at this point. I think that the word that he's a horrible person and a horrible person to trust is going to spread wide enough. But I do think that Dan and Kelly are going to start doing stuff. I think Dan Kelly might actually, or not Dan Kelly,
Mike.
Dan Mike Kelly might try. I feel like something might happen with them and Shireen. I think that Dan's crazy enough that he could appeal to her.
Yeah, though there definitely is going to be a love fest between Mike and Kelly whenever they see each other. It's going to be like, I don't know, there's dogs.
United.
Yes.
That's not what dogs do.
No, I was saying dogs. I like whenever their owner comes home from the war or whatever. They're like blah blah blah. That's basically what you should expect from Kelly and Mike next episode.
I'm waiting to get the spoilers on that. I can't believe Guude called it. Like they're literally just jumping around, like
eating each other, all down, getting back up.
I guess the most solid prediction I can have is that there is no reward challenge because they go there for the merge and instead they just have a feast.
Oh, damn it! I hope not.
No reward challenge, just food. Because Jeff Probst isn't there when they get there, which is what they did show. Like, where's Probst? Oh, it's a merge. So I'm guessing they'll just be food and merriment and maybe an idol clue or something.
I'm thinking maybe, no, except that they actually said that you are merged when she was reading the paper, didn't she?
Yeah.
In the thing. I was going to say maybe it's one of those fake merges again that they did a while ago where they all live on the same beach, but they're still 2 separate tribes.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was so silly.
Yeah. But I don't think anything like that can happen. Never know.
This season's been so like classic Survivor that I love it. That there hasn't actually been like a whole lot of focus even on the hidden immunity idols, which I kind of like. So I'm in a way I'm hoping there isn't more idol clues. I hope they just kind of keep the ones hidden with Carolyn and Jen, and then we just
and there's still a hidden one somewhere out there that nobody's found yet.
I wonder what camp they'll get. Do you think they'll get all the rewards from all the other previous things in one thing? All right.
That's a good. I don't know because
around merge time is when they start living the life. Basically, it's less about like all those people who quit Survivor because of the rainy, horrible, hungry conditions. It's always like before merge. At that point, we have tarps, we have blankets, we have fishing gear, we're eating, we have rice for days. It
feels like that's what this whole season's been, though. We're surfing by the beach, we're getting naked and washing the dishes. I don't know. It feels like it's been a season of a lot of.
Yeah, nobody's complaining about being hungry. That's
maybe that's a good thing. Maybe they're all just smart people.
Yeah,
unlike past seasons where people would never
overeat.
Where people would overeat or they would be. There hasn't also been any big storms this season, so that's just weather.
True. Yeah. All right. Well.
All right, guys.
Everyone, next week.
Till next week.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.